He bought a Ferrari for $650,000, and today it's worth around $70 million. That's not the centerpiece of Ralph Lauren's garage. It's just the warm-up. Inside an unmarked warehouse outside New York sits a collection so rare that museums beg to borrow from it, and nothing else on earth comes close. Start at the beginning with the oldest machine he owns. It's a 1929 Bentley Blower, a supercharged monster that raced in the 1930 French Grand Prix and clawed its way to second place before it ever reached Ralph's hands in 1988. This exact car passed through 3 legendary owners, and it was built by Walter Owen Bentley himself during the brand's final desperate days before near bankruptcy. Here's what stings, though. In 2020, Bentley built 12 flawless replicas of this very car, 12 copies, but only one original, and Ralph owns it. To a serious collector, that's the entire game. The copies sold for millions. You can't put a number on it. Now jump to 1955 to a car that genuinely changed what was possible. The Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing won the 24 Hours of Le Mans and survived the brutal Carrera Panamericana, hitting nearly 160 miles an hour at a time when that was almost unthinkable. It was the first production car on the planet to use direct fuel injection. And then there are those doors. They don't open out, they lift up like a butterfly spreading its wings. One was never enough for Ralph, so he owns the Roadster too. This car obsessed him so much, it inspired actual furniture pieces in his home collection. To him, design is design. It doesn't matter whether it's a suit, a sofa, or a car doing 160. Then there's the Alfa Romeo nobody expects. His 1939 8 C2900 Mille Miglia is one of just 4 ever built for that legendary Italian road race. One of those 4 sold at auction for a staggering $19.8 million. The body was hand-shaped by the coach builders at Carrozzeria Touring into something that still looks like it's moving while standing still. Ralph had it restored to perfection, and in 2005, it took best in class at Pebble Beach. 4 exist. He has one. That's the pattern you'll start to notice. He doesn't collect rare cars. He collects the rarest one in each story. And this is where it stops being a car collection and becomes something closer to art history. Ralph Lauren owns a 1938 Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, one of only 4 ever made and one of only 3 left in the world. They call it the Mona Lisa of automobiles. The 4th car, the one built for John Bugatti himself, vanished during the war and has never been found. If it ever turns up, it could be worth over $100 million. Ralph's is shaped like a single falling teardrop. Its riveted aluminum body curving in a way no modern car would dare attempt. He bought it in 1988 and poured nearly 10,000 hours into its restoration. In 2013, it won Best in Show at Villa d'Este in Italy. Experts say his Atlantic alone could be worth $100 million, making it, by some measures, the single most valuable car owned by anyone, anywhere. After that, you'd think nothing could feel mysterious. You'd be wrong. His 1930 Mercedes SSK is so shrouded that to this day, nobody knows for certain who designed its body. Out of 42 SSKs ever built, Ralph owns the rarest one. It started life as a bare chassis, shipped to Japan, came back unsold, drifted to Italy, then landed with Count Felice Trossi, who commissioned a custom body for it from a builder history has somehow forgotten. Ralph's team spent 5,000 hours over 2 years bringing it back. Now it runs on a 7-liter supercharged engine that doesn't purr. It howls. And it's won Best in Show at Pebble Beach and at Villa d'Este. Now, the one that defines the whole garage. Remember, Ralph Lauren didn't grow up rich. He started by selling ties out of a drawer and built an empire from there. So there's something poetic about the fact that he owns a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO, widely called the most revered car ever made. He bought it in 1985 for $650,000. Today, it's valued at around $70 million. That's one of the greatest purchases in the history of anything. Only 36 were ever built, and you couldn't simply buy one. Enzo Ferrari personally had to approve you before you were even allowed to own it. When sister cars to his cross the auction block, they pull $50 million and more. His sits quietly in a New York warehouse, worth more than most office towers. It's not just vintage steel either. Ralph owns the rarest of the rare from the modern era, the McLaren F1. Not one, 3 of them. One is the F1 LM, a road-legal beast built to honor McLaren's insane 1995 Le Mans win, where they finished 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 13th overall. Only 5 LMs were ever made, rarer than the standard F1, which is already one of the most coveted cars on Earth. It's lighter, lower, and shares its engine with the GTR race car. He also keeps a standard F1 and a federalized Ameritech F1, one of just 7 ever made legal for American roads. Most billionaires dream of one. He has the full set. And the modern hypercars? He doesn't buy one of each, he doubles up. He owns 2 McLaren P1s, machines that sold out worldwide within weeks of launch, each pushing 900 horsepower and hitting 60 in 2.8 seconds. He owns 2 Porsche 918 Spyders, and not the base cars, but the Weissach package versions, lighter and faster. He owns the La Ferrari, Ferrari's first hybrid, in a rare glossy black, throwing down over 950 horsepower. There's the Lamborghini Reventon, one of only 20 ever made. It's body-shaped after an F-22 Raptor fighter jet. And tucked among them, a Porsche 550 Spyder, number 61 of just 90, the little race car that inspired everything Porsche built afterward. So how does this stack up against the other famous billionaire garages? It doesn't compare. It stands alone. Plenty of collectors chase volume, buying hundreds of cars to pad a number. Others chase the newest hypercar the day it drops. Ralph does something rarer. He buys the single most important example of each legend, the 1 of 4 Alfa, the 1 of 3 Bugatti, the GTO Enzo had to approve, and then he restores it to the bone and actually drives it. This isn't a museum of trophies gathering dust. It's a working garage of irreplaceable history. Other collections are worth more on a spreadsheet. None of them are worth more in significance, and that's the difference between owning expensive cars and owning the cars everyone else wishes they could. In the end, Ralph Lauren's garage isn't really about cars at all. It's about a man who started with nothing but taste and turned it into the most refined collection of machinery on the planet. Proof that real status isn't about how much you spend, but about knowing exactly what's worth owning. Every car in there tells the same quiet story. The boy who sold ties now keeps the rarest objects civilization ever built. So here's the question I want you to drop in the comments. Do you know what Ralph Lauren's very first car ever was? Tell me below. And if you love stepping inside the world's most legendary garages, hit that like button and subscribe. Because if a collection like this exists anywhere on Earth, you'll find it right here.